Good morning, brothers and sisters in Christ. Today I want to share a simple, easy recipe because, for one, I know that things are getting expensive. Groceries are getting higher and higher. And these are ingredients that you will more than likely have in your pantry or on hand. Okay? And it's called a peach cobbler or a peach pie. It's homemade, but I am using pre-bought rollout pie crust. And you don't have to use that. You can make your own pie crust. And sometimes I will, but I actually have these in my freezer and I took them out, unthawed them, and used them. I want to go ahead and read a Bible verse to y'all in the first chapter of Isaiah, verse 19. If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. My cats are playing behind me, so forgive them. But for the ingredients, you can or you don't have to use butter, but I'm going to have some butter. Probably 2 teaspoons of butter, I'd say. But 3/4 cup of sugar, a 1/3 cup of flour, half teaspoon of cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. Now here's my butter. I'm not going to use that whole stick. And here's my rollout pie crusts. There's my can of peaches. It doesn't matter what brand. Have my cinnamon and my vanilla. Now I didn't say vanilla, but you can add a teaspoon of vanilla at the end after you have it all combined. There's my Swan's Down cake flour. I just choose to use that because it's real nice and soft. Of course, your sugar. And if you need to slow this video down or pause it, feel free to do so. I just combined all the dry ingredients together, and then I'm going to pour my peaches into a bowl. And once I get my peaches into the bowl, this is when you could put your teaspoon of vanilla, or you could wait till after. But once I have my peaches in the bowl, I'm going to go ahead and add my dry mix to it, and I'm just going to coat it, if you will. Now I'm just going to keep pouring it and mixing it and coating it until it's all incorporated very well. Now don't think that you have to use the vanilla or the butter. If you don't have it, or if you don't have the ground cloves, use what you have. Like I said, most of this stuff will be in your pantry, you may have on hand. Now here's where I add my vanilla, my teaspoon of vanilla flavoring, or extract, I'm sorry. And then I'm just going to incorporate that into my peach mixture. I bought these little pans at the Dollar Tree, 3 of them for $1.25. Here, I'm going to cut this pie crust into a square. This is what it looks like when I did that. Now you'll see my egg I'm going to use for my egg wash. And that's what you're going to use at the very end before you sprinkle the sugar on top before you put it in the oven. I know that I said this was a very simple recipe, and so with that being said, you don't have to use the butter, the egg wash, the vanilla, or the ground cloves. If you just have sugar, peaches, flour, and cinnamon in the pie crust, or just make your own pie crust, that will be fine. It's simple and it'll be good. Now I forgot to mention that you can make one big pan of this cobbler, or you can do as I'm doing here and have 2 small pans of this cobbler. Here I am choosing to lattice the top of the pie crust, and I didn't know how to do this a while back, but I have learned how to do this, and it looks a lot better in my opinion. You are going to set your oven to 350 degrees and bake it on 350 degrees. This is what it looks like before it goes into the oven. Now this is the end result, and it looks so good and it tastes so good, and with the vanilla ice cream it just sets it off. If you don't have it, that's perfectly fine. Just remember what I said about keeping it simple if that's all you have, because there's going to be a time when we may not be able to afford certain things or be allowed in certain places. You guys, I love you, and I'll be praying for you, family, and God bless you all.